What's going on, all my new, current, and future rideshare drivers and passengers out there? Welcome to the channel. Before I get started, if you find the content helpful, entertaining, or otherwise, don't hesitate. Make sure you smash that subscribe button and click that little bell icon. That way you'll get notified when I come out with new videos. If you want to sign up to become an Uber driver and have a bonus guarantee automatically applied, sign up with that link in the description below. If you're an Uber driver and you forgot to do that when you first started driving because you didn't know anybody, so you never used anyone's link or code, well, you might still be in luck. So follow those instructions in the description below and potentially have a bonus retroactively applied today. Now, today's video, I got some great news for everybody, okay? This is exactly the thing drivers have wanted for a long, long time, even before they took away 80/20. Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. And this is, Uber is testing a feature that lets some California drivers set fares. Yes, guys, you heard me correctly. Drivers will be able to set their own fares. Now, obviously, they're not going to just roll this out everywhere, but this is definitely something I'd like to see everywhere, and I'm sure you all could agree too, so make sure you smash that thumbs up button. It says, moves gives drivers more control in response to state gig economy law. Yes, that is correct, guys. So AB 5 has caused this to happen. And like I said, I might not have agreed with everything how it was, first started, but I definitely wanted to see something happen. It would be nice for us to get paid a little bit more considering this company makes billions and billions. And we all know that in other markets like New York City and stuff, we already can see that they are able to pay us more and still just be okay. Raise the rates for riders. And guess what? Riders are still taking trips. So what has changed? Drivers are getting paid more. So now this right here will also help drivers get paid more. And I'm all about everybody making more money. So this starts today, Tuesday. It says, San Francisco Uber Technologies Incorporated is testing a new feature that gives some drivers in California the ability to set their fares, the latest in a series of moves to give them more autonomy in response to the state's new gig economy law. So again, guys, AB 5 is what caused this. It said, starting Tuesday morning, drivers who ferry passengers from airports in Santa Barbara, Palm Springs, and Sacramento can charge up to 5 times the fare Uber sets on a ride, according to a person involved in developing the feature. Uber is confirming in an emailed statement that is doing an initial test that would give drivers more control over the rates they charge riders, which exactly they should, considering they are a technology company and not a actual service. You know what I'm saying? They're supposed to just connect us with riders. They're not supposed to actually be a taxi and control us like the taxis get controlled. So this is definitely looking up to be something good. Now, again, this is only a test and it is only in California, but hopefully everything goes well. And if you could charge up to 5 times the rate, that means you are finally in control, which makes you a legitimate independent contractor. Now it says, the ride-hailing giant has made many changes to the way it works in response to California's passage of Assembly Bill 5, AB 5. The law requires companies to treat workers as employees eligible for sick days and other benefits, rather than independent contractors if they are controlled by their employer and contribute to its usual course of business. Uber has argued that it is a technology company or platform that connects riders with drivers, not a transportation company. That's the word I was looking for. So the drivers aren't part of its usual course of business, which, we all know is BS, to the simple fact of without drivers, there would be nobody for them to have to connect passengers to. But anyways, because you guys see, they do not want to make us employees. And a lot of us don't want to be employees, okay? Some that do, and hey, more power to you. But the majority of us only do this part-time, as I always only recommend. So we are not worried about this being a full-time job to need employee status. A lot of us can get our own things, okay? Which, like I said, I'm not trying to, down those that want to be employees and stuff. Maybe you need it, but for the most part, a lot of us are only part-time, and we do not need to be employees. We do not need them to control what we do for the simple fact of we're independent contractors. We all mostly signed up for this gig to do it part-time, drive when you want to, make money when you want to, okay? Not when they tell us to, because Some people, like in New York City, they have scheduled shifts now. You have to pick out your schedule and stuff when you want to drive. And a lot of people do not like that. If we wanted to join one of those gigs, we would have originally joined one of those gigs and not the one that said, hey, do what you want when you want to do it. So I definitely see this being something really good. And it says at least 2 lawsuits have been filed in federal court alleging that Uber misclassified drivers, citing the law which went into effect January 1st. Separately, the lawmaker who wrote AB 5 has urged attorneys in some California's biggest cities to enforce the statute. Which, of course they want to enforce the statute. They want to hurry up and make us employees and stuff. But Uber, with their billions and billions that they make, are trying to fight it with lawyers and stuff. So that's what's gonna happen. It says Uber's latest changes will set up a bidding system that allows drivers the ability to increase fares in 10% increments, up to a maximum of 5 times Uber's price. The person involved in developing the feature said, once a rider pings the Uber app at the location in the pilot program, Uber will match the rider with the driver who has set the lowest price. See where they try to get you there? The person said, drivers who have set higher fares are gradually dispatched as more riders request rides. So, remember guys, if you set that price a little too high, you might not get nothing. But if there's nobody else around you, you obviously might get that ping. So, don't get too greedy. Don't pull an Uber move and get too greedy now, because otherwise you might be screwing yourself and getting no money instead of, just trying to get a fair rate. But of course, you do what you got to do. I know California is very expensive, and that's where they're doing this test feature. So I understand if you want to raise the rates quite a bit. But this is the point. The fact is, you have the ability to raise the rates as you see fit. Okay? And that right there, just having that option is what's going to make a lot of drivers a lot happier. It says, by testing the new feature in smaller cities, Uber wants to limit any potential damage to its business. Of course they do. Said the person who worked on the feature, Uber will use feedback from the initial rollout to determine whether to broaden the measure statewide or not. Okay, so it says, while the changes give drivers more autonomy, setting fares too high may result in fewer trips and longer waits, which Uber doesn't like their passengers waiting. It says the feature could result in risk losing riders to rival Lyft, which hasn't announced any changes to its app in response to California's new law. So Lyft is still sitting in the background like, let's see what Uber does so we can tell if we're going to copy it or not. Because we all know 99% of the time, Lyft will copy Uber on what they do because that's just what they do. All right. The only thing that Uber didn't copy of Lyft was drop the rates to like 35 cents a mile, because I don't know how anybody can be living on 35 cents a mile. So if you guys think this is good, please make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Hopefully those testing the feature will not abuse the feature and screw it up for the rest of us, because we would all like to see what goes down and what comes of this. All right. So Uber has had adult mode off for drivers this entire time on controlling exactly what the fares are and everything else. Now that they are finally turning adult mode on for drivers, please start thinking smart. You know what I'm saying? Go around, match some prices out. Like it said, don't put your fares way too high and then you don't get any rides and you complain because you were too expensive. Okay, remember, competition is always where it's at. Hence why they said they don't want to lose any business to rival Lyft, which I don't think they're going to lose any business to them. We all know almost all passengers take Uber and Lyft. Most drivers drive for Uber and Lyft. So, yeah, let's be real, guys. So it's up to you to decide exactly what you're going to do and how you're going to handle this. So I suggest you be smart, use that common sense, be like, hey, well, you know what time it is, you know what the traffic's going to be, because if you know your market, you'll know those things. So you can pretty much charge a nice price, so that way you can guarantee that Uber's going to send you those rides and not to somebody else, because you guys heard what it said. It said it's going to give the rider with the lowest fare or the driver with the lowest fare is going to get the trip first. So remember that, guys. And for all those that want to see this article, I will make sure I link it in the description below because it's definitely worth looking at. Like I said, this is just starting today and only in California at those 3 airports. But we can all stay in high hopes and hope that all goes well, and soon it'll be everywhere. But all right, guys, as always, check the description below for extra information and tips. You keep doing your thing, get your money, use that common sense. And until next time, guys, Uber on or don't. Peace out.